all, how you doing? Back again, back out on these runs. Oh, it's an hard one today. I was in the gym yesterday evening and there were lots and lots of box jumps, lots of burpees. I can't remember. So everything seemed like legs and core yesterday, so I've got a lot of well, as I say, lactic acid build up. But that probably could be aided if I actually stretched a bit more robustly. But that's really hard actually, because when you went to the gym, you get back home, and all I want to do is sit on my ass. But anyway, hope everyone's well. If anybody's not watching me before, I'm Ellis. I do, well, I'm document my business journey from zero to, well, I don't want to say hero, but at least be able to live off the money I make from my business. I think that's a good goal to get to. Or at least one of us anyway, even me and my wife. To earn enough salary to get by in his business. And anything better, well, we'll see how it goes. But anyway, yes, I was supposed to do a video yesterday. So what I've been trying to do is do one every other day. One to, sorry, I was going a bit of a hill then. One to get on the algorithm, and two, to keep on the fitness. I know I'm going to the gym and all that, but it is good recovery when you do just a nice slow jog. Anyway, I'm out with Ebbie today. That's why we're going a bit slower. She, if anybody has watched my videos before, she is a bit adverse to exercise. She's a typical retriever. First to, well, typical non-working retriever anyway. Likes to lounge around the house all day and accept fusses off people and anything that even remotely lifts the heart rate is nothing but, well, she looks at it, but nothing but disdain. I don't know if that made sense there, but basically she don't like doing any sort of fitness. But we all are all the same, and she just needs a bit of encouragement. That's why I have to run her on the lead, even though there's no one about. She's completely petrified of livestock. One of the benefits of Ebbie, compared to my other dog Layla, who is the total opposite. Yeah, I've got this lead on just to keep her running with me. Otherwise, she does the old, I'm going to sniff in a bush, exercise and try and lag behind to the point where I might have not noticed. I don't know what she'll do after that. Because she's also scared enough to not run home. She'll probably just stay there. But anyway, let's talk about my business instead of waffling on about the dogs. So I've got a few updates. I've had a few revelations, if you want to call it that. So I think the last update we had, we're waiting to get some suppliers on the books. So what we've been doing so far is we've sent a couple of emails out. Yeah, a few rounds of emails. I've also tried to use LinkedIn a bit, message people on LinkedIn, on Navigator. But I think one of the pitfalls of trying to appeal to businesses that are well established and yeah, they're owned by people or run by people who typically are not in the social media world or not really that deep in the social media world, or well, especially like LinkedIn. And also because it's established, when someone's sending them an email who they don't know, never heard of, on a site they've never heard of, because they're probably really busy, that just gets deleted. So I understand it. But my wife, she rang up Emily, her name, if anybody's not listened to these videos before, she rang us the first supplier today, and we ended up getting a bit of a lead. So rang them up. I'm not going to give the business away because of Once we get on the books, we'll do some sort of congratulations, probably on LinkedIn or whatever else. But and that's if the supplier wants us to do that. But yeah, they give us a lead, and we managed to get someone in their business email to make the decision. It was really good. It's better than we had so far. But another revelation, all the news today, I've just eaten a load of flies. Oh dear. We've now got a mentor. So one of the benefits of being in the military is there's quite a lot of, well, not quite a lot of, there's a couple of charities that help ex-service people get into jobs or setting up businesses. And one charity that we've used, who've been really good to us so far, Heropreneurs, right? I'll definitely tag them in this video because they've been really good. Have managed us to get us in touch, with an established business owner, who, very successful business owner as well. And he now is going to do a bit of mentoring with us. So today we had a discussion, spoke about his business, what we're doing, what we've been doing so far, and he's currently taking a look at our business plan. I need to do a video about business plans, actually. That'll be a good one in future. And he's asked us to give us 5 sort of things that we need to work on as a business. And I think it's going to be a regular sort of meeting, probably once a week, once every couple of weeks. And hopefully he can give us a bit of a helping hand. Now, I understand that for some people, say if you're a normal civilian person, well, I'm a civilian person, but someone who's not been in the military before, I do know, because I've looked at this, that councils, there's lots of council initiatives, especially in the southwest where I live, that seem to do the same thing, or have some sort of help in that sort of manner. So don't be disheartened if you sat here watching this now thinking, he's just got a mentor and I don't get access to that. These videos are useless. Have a look out, because I know there is that sort of help there, especially for digital businesses. In fact, I know there is. In the southwest, there was a growth initiative, I think, or something like that, and it's around digital businesses. And I'm pretty sure they do a one-to-one review of your product, site, app, and I think they're pretty much there to help you out in a similar manner. But anyway, yes, we've got a mentor. And this is, I don't want to take this as, oh, now this person's going to show us what to do and we're going to be successful, because the work's still on us. And they're just there to guide us, help us. You know, I think a good analogy is we're like blind people navigating a room. And they're just there to, you know, pinpoint us across the room into the next one or through the door. I don't know if that's a good analogy. That's what I feel like it is. But we've still got to walk across the room. We've still got to engage ourselves in this and hopefully become a successful business. So, oh yeah, I'll reintroduce my business, by the way, just in case it's the first time you're watching. So, I have set up a heat oil comparison site. So I live in the southwest, where just going through a gate, where introducing my business in them, I'm stalling. I might redo that again. So I'll start again. In fact, I'm gonna have to pause it to lift my dog over some electric fence. Back in. We all are in this field. It's got a pathway across it, but they've got sheep in here, so they've got a bit of one of them ropey little electric fences. And Ebbie, when she was a pup, ran into one and got the bit of a shock. So she's absolutely petrified of them. So we have to lift her over. So luckily she is a small retriever. So, because I've had to do the same with my sister's dog. My sister's got a Ridgeback, Rhodesian Ridgeback. Oh, that's an heavy dog to get over these sort of things. But anyway, I was introducing my business. I have set up a heat and oil price comparison site, which is a bit of an iceberg really. So the tip of it is what you see as a customer. So the price comparison bit is pretty similar to what you see on a car insurance site really. Car insurance comparison. So it allows you to show you the cheapest price, but also shows you like benefits, reviews, etc, etc. But also behind the scenes, it's also a supplier management system. I don't mean like I can manage suppliers. It means it allows suppliers to manage orders, set where they want to deliver to, set exclusion zones, add like gifts, alter their prices, but also it gives suppliers data. So if you're a customer ordering a bit of oil, so I facilitate the sort of the payment and the order to the supplier, well my site does anyway. But also what the supplier gets is, you know, what quantity you've ordered, where you've ordered, what time of year you've ordered. Just got to do this over a fence. Back in again. We got to the other end of the field where the other end of the fence was. But anyway, yeah, it allows them to see what you ordered, who was ordered, where they've ordered from, what time, what date, what time of year. So it's basically giving suppliers a lot of data so they can strategically plan. Because how suppliers operate is they'll order in stock from a main refinery, they'll try to get transported to their distribution centres, and then from what I understand they then sell it to you as a customer. So any sort of strategic data to allow them to better manage their stock is all the benefit. And I thank you to my good friend Damon, who did comment on one of my videos to ask me about that, and thank you for giving me a reminder, because I don't think I've been that complicit in the videos about it, and it's actually a really good feature. So essentially it's got a big database that helps out suppliers. So that's my current business, heatoilcompare.com. If you're a supplier listening to this, give us an email, give us a call. We're happy to have you on board. But what did I want to talk about today? Now I've done an update. AI, artificial intelligence, the bogeyman. Well, as some people are taking it anyway, the change in society. So I've definitely noticed, right, that pretty much in the past year or two, in fact not even a year, two, last year, I have gone from knowing about AI, knowing about ChatGPT, knowing about Grok being developed, but it was sort of a novelty thing. You know, you sort of logged on it and asked it to write you up some sort of essay or business plan from pretty much a sentence that you give it, and it's almost been like a bit of a party trick. It gives the whole business plan, and you can sort of like show your friends and family, look at this amazing thing. And that's always been for me up until this past year, and I find myself now using it a hell of a lot. And I don't know if this is sort of almost a tiny bit of shame to it, because especially for me when I'm posting on LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever else, or when I was writing my business plan, as if you've not fully wrote it yourself, or you've sort of dipped into the AI for a bit of knowledge. Whereas before, you were doing your own research, you would have gone Googling, whatever else. And I can't help thinking in the back of my head that, am I cheating? But I was sat there last night thinking, no, you know, because I think I have the knowledge, but you have to have enough knowledge to be able to ask it the right question. It's like a scene of iRobot, this, doesn't it? But anyway, I've been using it a hell of a lot. I practically use it quite regularly now. I'm a big one on Grok. I like Grok. I like going on Twitter quite a lot, to be fair. So, and it's just there. It seems to give me answers that are not too in your face of being biased. Even though I know it's got a bit of bias to it. But yeah, I use it quite a lot. And I've purposely been trying to utilise it quite a bit in this business. And that's because, really, I want to say because I'm testing it, I'm testing its capability, or whatever else. It's not. It's because I work full time. I have a young one on the way. This is not excuses, by the way. I've got a young one on the way. He's already here. He's been here for 5 weeks. And I've also got quite a busy schedule. My social life. You know, I'm a busy person. And so is my wife. Okay? So, I've been using it quite a lot because it allows me to spend more time doing those sort of things, or spend more time focused on different parts of the business, like doing this now, doing a bit of branding or social media, when in the past I feel like people have just been, you know, googling, researching, even far back, further back than that, you go into the library. But yes, so yeah, I've been using quite a bit of it, and I've used it for building my internet site. I've used it for my SEO. I've used it for my branding. I've used it for, did I say writing my business plan? I've used a bit of that, but I'm also cautious because you can also tell sometimes it's AI. It's the little dashes. But what I'm here to say is, yeah, don't be afraid to use it. I'm using it. It seems to be working well for me. And it's the future. Yeah, our lives are going to change massively. The new AI revolution. Basically, AI. Let's say I said, like I said, EI then. AI revolution. Businesses are simply, if you're in any sort of repetitive job, data management, or anything else, it's going to completely revolutionise. What I mean like that is I feel like a lot of these jobs are counting down the days. But I'm also optimistic because I feel like new jobs are going to open up and it's going to expand humans beyond what we already know or what we can even comprehend. So I remain optimistic. So where am I? I'm going up that big hill again. Can't breathe. Lungs feel like they're dying. Legs are dropping off. But yes, that's my little tip today with my video. I feel like I'm having to rush it because my phone's just gone down to 5%. Use AI, but if you're going to use AI, be careful. Don't make it obvious. Rewrite it in your own words. But don't feel ashamed because it frees up your time to do other things. Well, folks, we had a bit of studio issues and my phone just died. I know I said about in the video that it was dying, but it really did just die all of a sudden. I really need to get a new phone. Me and my wife have been talking about it for weeks. We need to get a phone because of doing the social media stuff. So we are doing it. It's on the list of things to do very, very soon. But yeah, I felt like I was rushing the issue as well. So rushing what I wanted to say because of my phone dimmed and said 5%. But I think what we're talking about is that, well, one of the things I want to try and not do on this podcast, is it a podcast? On these videos, is try and get too political. Because I want these to be accessible for all, and I don't want people to be put off if they feel like I'm talking up one side of political spectrum and they, you know, assign themselves to the other side. You know, I want this to be quite, you know, just an easy chat and for people to, you know, help with their own businesses if they're doing it. But I think when it comes to AI, I think there is this thing on the horizon. It's almost like the Mount Vesuvius that's about to erupt. And I think there's people that are sort of turned a blind eye to it. And there's people in high up positions who I feel are turning a blind eye to it. And then we've got people who can see it and can see it coming and are trying to get ahead of it. But that's really, really hard at the moment. Because even the top experts, the people who are configuring it, the bigwigs, the Elon Musks, well, I don't really know many more names in the AI world, but if you configure any big AI people, I guarantee they're probably saying the same thing. And even they don't quite know the significance and the change it's going to have on human beings. We just know it's going to make a change. We just can predict that any sort of job or role or anything that requires repetitiveness, repeats a lot of work, or requires a lot of manual data entry or whatever else, these are absolutely at risk for AI. Now, I've been reading a lot of, and a really good book that I advise you all to read. Oh, by the way, imagine if I'm running, by the way. I would try and edit in a background as if I'm running, but I'm not that clever. So you just got me sweaty in my kitchen, and I think Ebbie's sat in the corner around the back of the table where she likes to lay. But yeah, so the only way I think I can get ahead of it, and I've been reading a lot of, very good person, and I advise people to read, is Entrepreneur Revolution by Daniel Priestley. I think I may have spoken about it in previous videos, and if I haven't, I've definitely been speaking about it on my LinkedIn. And in his book, he theorizes, he predicts that there's going to be an entrepreneur revolution where human beings are going to change from, you know, we've had the feudal age where we work with his hands, then we had the industrial age where we work with his, work with our minds, so we create machines that automated or made the work easier for human beings. And now we're coming to the digital age where we've got to use our creativeness. You know, we've got to utilize that to be able to, well, they're going to utilize the advance of the human race, but also to carry on with the work that we've sort of, or the working environments, or sort of historically what we've known to be, what we've lived in for the past, well, since the industrial age. So going to work, you know, our careers almost, you know, and he theorizes or predicts that we're going to have these small entrepreneur teams, you know, small groups of small businesses. They're going to pack the punch of a global sort of business, the big ones that we see nowadays. So your Nikes and your, I don't know, your Walmarts or whatever else. They're going to be small business, and what they're going to do is be innovating and creating solutions and bettering the human race, or bettering our environment, or bettering human beings by streamlining what we've already got. And this is because of AI is going to help them, and all the digital tools that we've got to our hand nowadays. I know I spoke in my last video, you know, how easy it is now if you want to create a digital business, and how much free tools they are to help you with it. Well, that's what he predicts. And I think that that's a good place to be. And it's also one of the driving forces why I wanted to start my own business, is because I know for a fact I work in a job role. So I am an engineer, okay, by trade, and I sort of design issues. And I know for a fact when I'm at work, I'm like, that could probably be done. by a computer. That can probably be done by AI. You know, AI can probably do that, definitely. And I'm sat there worrying, thinking, well, what if my job just goes? And, you know, what do I do next? And as I said, it's hard work to predict, but I know I put myself in a good stead if I can create a business that's making things better, streamlining what we already know to make it better. And that's what I'm doing. I'm streamlining to make heating oil easier and more accessible. Well, no, make it cheap heating oil easier and more accessible for you. So anyways, that goes to the end of my video. Thanks for listening. You know what you need to do. Like, subscribe, follow my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, yeah. On all social media, give me a follow.